This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons,
where she's in one camp and I'm in the other. So, news and update wise, we did announce on, I think, most of our social media, especially, I don't know if we did it on Instagram or not, but
I did.
Yeah, that we have been accepted to do a panel at the Tampa Bay Comic Con. So that was really exciting for us. We're putting together a little panel. It will be about Percy Jackson relationships, and it will be interactive so the audience can help us figure out the best Percy Jackson relationships. So that's what we're doing. August 24th, I believe. That's a Saturday from 12 to 1.
Yep.
Tampa Bay Comic Con.
Yes. We're very excited.
This is very exciting. We have been out and about and not around recently. We went to Grand Canyon for like a week.
Yeah.
And got back and just getting things back in order. So we're back. We have a few more bonus episodes to do. We'll see if we come up with more in the meantime. There has been exciting news that we know filming is starting for season 2. And they did just put out the people who are going to play the 3 Grey Sisters, are they called? Yeah, the ones from the taxi drivers. I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
Should I read them out loud?
Sure.
But we don't know them, but
I find it interesting that they don't look anything like each other. And they're supposed to be sisters. And I just found that interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I mean, they're supposed to be sisters. It's called the Grey Sisters.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like, they have very different hair colors. Some
very different.
Like, I think, like, the middle one, the one who's, like, the second one you swipe is, like, clearly Asian, and the other 2 are not so Asian.
Yeah.
So.
They're not Asian at all.
No. So. But you know what? Maybe they're 3 sisters from 3 different dads. Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so did they give the name? Yes. Oh gosh, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right. Kristen, it's Schaal. It could be Shawl. That's our guess. Margaret Cho and Sandra Bernhard. I do recognize the faces of Kristen, the first one, the last one, Sandra Bernhard.
Nice.
By the way, if I sound a little bit funny, I'm a little congested, so I apologize. Yeah, and also, I don't know if I don't think we talked about the casting of Tyson because I don't think we had a episode since it came out. But Tyson was casted as well. His name is Daniel Diemer. I think it is D-I-E, or it could be Diemer, but I think it's Diemer. D-I-E-M-E-R. He's taller than Walker, which is very helpful because Walker got tall.
Yeah.
But he has a very young, youthful face, which is really exciting. I can totally see him with one eye. I'm very excited to see how they do that. So that was actually good news.
Yeah.
They've done a whole bunch of like conventions recently, these guys. So there's a lot of really cute, Instagram stories, Instagram posts and stuff. If you want to check it out, it's really cool.
Yeah. We also found out officially that it will not be released. Season 2 will not be released until 2025.
Very sad.
It didn't even say spring.
I
summer,
know.
fall. It didn't say. It just said
it's gonna be January 1st.
Yeah, better be.
You heard it here first.
I'll binge it with my newborn.
That's right after the baby's born. Okay, so that's kind of the news so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much all the updates. They're definitely doing a lot of promo, getting people excited for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's lots of stuff coming out.
Exactly. Okay, good. I don't know if we really have a spoiler warning for this one. We're just talking about the episode. So
if somehow we get into a discussion about a book that isn't Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, then we will give a spoiler.
Yeah, I can't really see it happening.
But it probably won't happen. Because today we're just going to tell you guys what our least favorite to favorite episode.
We're ranking the episodes.
Yeah, based on our own personal opinion. We did not collaborate, so we might not agree on the... that's our whole thing.
It may be so boring. We may completely agree, and we'll be like, well, that was dumb.
I doubt it.
We'll see.
Because there's things that you, really didn't like in certain episodes that I was like, I didn't really care about that.
Yeah.
So I think we won't have the same, but I can see us agreeing on a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, for me, I could find my first 2 very easily. 1 and 2, like the first 2 of the, what do you call it? Like the top 2. Very easily, and my least favorite 2 very easily. Like those 2, the 2 on either end, no question. I had a hard time with the middle group. So
I literally just looked at all the episodes And then I looked at, like, skimmed my notes to see if there was anything I had written that was like, this sucked, in case I forgot.
Yeah.
But then I just worked my way from bottom to top. And then I went, like, this is my least favorite, this is, like, the second, third, and I just worked my way up. So to me, when I got down to the last three, it was easy, because I was like, well, now there's only 3 options.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's how I did
It's
it.
funny we did it differently.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think? We should start from
Let's
our
read-
least favorite?
Well, let's read
let's
all
go
the
over it.
episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to really fast read the title of every episode, and we can do, like, a really quick. I mean, the title
Yeah.
pretty much
That's fine.
explains what happened in that episode.
You read the title. I'll give you I'll give a very short description.
Okay, good. So, episode 1, I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher.
So in this one, Percy finds out he's a demigod. And it's got the whole scene where he goes to camp with his mom and they fight the Minotaur. Like, it's all the way up through that to when I don't think he even wakes up at camp yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's from, like, first encounter with the monster, and then cabin, Montauk cabin, Grover shows up, Minotaur shows up, mom, quote-unquote, dies. Episode 2, I become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom.
This is pretty much taking place entirely at camp.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just whatever the necessary, him getting to know the camp and him trying to find out what he's good at, that whole montage, and a lot of Luke in this one, and it's got the bathroom scene, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And then
he finds out at the end. Gus captured the flag. Yep.
He gets sorted. Wait, that's the wrong word. He gets claimed.
Sorted.
He gets claimed by Poseidon.
He gets claimed, and then you find out he's got to go on this quest to
and
retrieve
Grover's
the
like,
light.
your mom's there. Your mom's in the underworld.
Because at first he wasn't going to do it.
And we get that awesome line of, I thought when humans die they'd be a little more squishy.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Episode 3 is we visit the Garden Gnome Emporium.
Right. So here he goes to the Oracle. We get the whole Oracle scene. He has to pick his quest members. He picks. They go on the quest. They go to New York.
They get interrupted pretty quickly by the Furies.
That's right. So then they're on the bus, and it's the whole Furies scene. The Furies kind of chase them, not really, to Medusa.
Yeah.
And then it's the whole Medusa scene. Mm-hmm. There's a lot in this one, packed in this one. The whole Medusa scene, all the way down to, from her friendly Medusa to scary Medusa, and then killing Medusa, and then killing Electo, which, doesn't last long.
She just comes right back.
But whatever. They temporarily put Electo somewhere else.
Yep. There's a theory that when Medusa kills a monster with her face, if the statue isn't broken, that monster cannot regenerate. They never go to Tartarus. But if the statue breaks, then and they're whatever the equivalent of a monster soul gets sent back to Tartarus. And
so because she was leaping at the time and she fell and it broke.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just a theory.
That's a theory.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I like it. I think it's great.
I would just go smashing all her.
No, don't smash them.
All the people.
Well, yeah, if that theory's real, that also means all those people are frozen and they can't go to.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Rick Riordan was in there as the postman.
Oh no!
Okay.
Free him.
Episode 4.
Okay, episode 4 is I plunged to my death.
Yeah, so this is so they had left Medusa. They're on a train, right? We don't know how they got there.
Yeah.
And because we don't ever get to see Gladiola. Never mind. No poodle. Okay, they're on the train. It's all the conversations on the train, and then it's what's his name?
Monster woman.
The monster woman. The mother of monsters, and she hunts them with her chimera. And then they go to the St. Louis Arch, and it's the whole fight with that at the end, and he...
First he was poisoned.
And then he jumps into the water, and it ends in the water. Well, no, he gets grabbed by the water.
Because as we learned, geography, there's no river directly
right underneath it. And then it ends with him in the water just figuring out he can breathe underwater.
Yep.
Okay.
A god buys us cheeseburgers. That's episode 5.
Yeah, so here's after the jump with him coming out, you see the 3 fates snipping the thing.
But Annabeth sees that.
Annabeth sees it, yeah. They go on the walk. They go walking, because I guess they're going to walk to LA. Don't know. And
walking somewhere. They learn the FBI is basically after them at this point.
Ares finds them and then meets them at the cafe. And then we have the whole 2 different scenes going back and forth. We have the whole water world and Grover and Ares conversation. And it goes all the way until they're inside the kindness something truck. The truck that takes all the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that is episode 5.
Good. Episode 6 is we take a zebra to Vegas.
Yeah. So episode 6 is in Vegas. Yes. The whole time. Yep. They arrive. It has that cool scene with the animals running around and Grover not caring about the humans. And then they go to the Lotus Casino, and it's just the whole Lotus Casino, which we all know what happens on that. And then it ends with them getting out with the taxi and almost getting hit. No. It ends with them. They actually make it to Santa Monica Beach with the truck, and he walks in the water and talks to the Nereid. So it does make it all the way there.
Yeah. Good. After that is 7, which is we find out the truth, sort of.
Yeah. So that's the one that starts out.
Wait, is that even a book chapter?
Yeah, because I didn't remember.
Then we found out it was.
I know.
It's the book chapter title that you never read because you're too into it at that point.
Yeah, exactly. It's also not that funny of a book. Like, a lot of his titles are so, like, funny, and that one isn't so much, so it doesn't stick in my head. This one, we start out with the waterbed scene, which, you know, everyone knows how much I love. The water, whatever it's called.
And then we go
to the Underworld.
Which also
sucks. It's just the waterbed scene and Underworld scene. Flashbacks of Percy with his mom going to the school. This is the one we get the flashback of him sitting in the car, not wanting to get out.
No, it's not. This is one where you get flashbacks of them in the diner and Percy's mom talking to.
Yeah, that's a lot. But we get the very first flashback is her and Percy at the school. Maybe not in the car, but it's at the school. When the principal says, no, I wrote it down.
Okay.
Yeah. This is where we have Asphodel and Annabeth disappears. It's where we meet Hades. And it's
almost gets sucked into the pit with Cronus and then Hades. And then
we do get the one of her talking. We get the flashback of her talking to Poseidon. And then we get his talking voice over, like when they break the pearls.
Must be right. Because he says, we're not in Kansas anymore. Which was at the school.
Yeah.
And then he makes that reference in the Underworld.
This does have those flashbacks, and it has a flashback with Poseidon at the diner, and then they break the pearls and come back up. And I think they stand up and they have that really cool stance, and you see Ares coming in the distance, and it ends.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the next one is Episode 8, The Prophecy Comes True.
Yeah.
The last one.
Oh, this is the last one. You're right. So episode 8 starts out with the Ares fight.
Mm-hmm. And Luke flashbacks of teaching him to sword fight, teaching them how he's a spider to the gods. He's both small and scary. It's not a good position to be in.
That's so funny. When you said he's a spider to the gods, I really couldn't quite connect that. And my attention went all the way to Spider Monkey from Twilight.
Oh my god.
I know. Talk about weird connections. Okay. So then... Yeah. So, and then there's the scene with them bringing the helmet into Electo at the Montauk cabin, and then Empire State's Building. He goes alone to bring the bolt.
And then he gets back to camp.
Well, don't forget the Zeus happens. Well, yes. And he almost dies, and then Poseidon saves him. Then he gets back to camp, and then it's the whole Luke betrayal scene.
Yeah.
In the woods and everything.
Yeah.
And then he's talking to the camp director people. There's a whole bunch of scenes in this. It goes through several things about, like, maybe going home for the summer or something. We're going home for the school year or whatever. I forget the conversation. No, he's mainly just, I think they're not actually talking about that. That's what it is in the book. They're talking about Luke, like how Luke is trying to recruit her, basically.
Yeah.
And then he has that nightmare where you think he's going to seeing his mom for the first time, which maybe it's a memory / nightmare.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being Grandpa.
Yeah.
And then they have that great conversation with his mom at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are our episodes. Okay, good. So let's start with you telling me. Oh, let's tell each other our number 8.
Okay.
Like least favorite episode. And then we can talk about why.
Okay, my least favorite episode, I think it's going to be the same. But it's episode 7.
Oh, yeah.
We find out the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Very few redeeming qualities in that episode.
Definitely my least favorite episode.
And the thing is, one of the best redeeming qualities is Hades, and Hades isn't even Hades, which makes it not even a good enough redeeming quality, because he isn't even who he's supposed to be in the book, so then it kind of takes away.
That was my note exactly. It was like, I love this guy. He's still not Hades.
So it doesn't really help.
Could we have had him in some other form? I don't know. Yeah. He was great. There was a lot about him that was great, but it just wasn't Hades.
But it wasn't him from the books. Then it was weird.
Asphodel sucked. I'm sorry. Annabeth leaving, I still don't get. Did she have a bad day that day, and they're like, let's just have her leave so she doesn't have to film?
I don't. And the whole waterbed thing. Well, we did come to the conclusion that Hermes definitely did tell them that it was a trap and blah blah blah. Still took away from how much better it was in the book.
Yeah.
Where
I would have rather them just skipping the whole waterbed thing than having that little bit in it.
Yeah, because the thing is in the book, the entrance isn't in the waterbed place. Right. The only thing they get there is the
address.
And
he could have given Hermes could have given them the address, and we could have skipped the waterbed scene altogether, and it would have been okay.
And then we could have had the scene so much better and make so much more. Like, we could have skipped the whole waterbed and instead included the scene of him, like, showing up at DOA Records and then being like, "Hi, we're dead. We all drowned in the bathtub." You know.
Oh, gosh. The more you talk about it, the more I remember how much I missed so many good scenes that could have been in that. Yeah. Okay, good. So that's our episode 7. We give that a number 8.
Yeah.
In the ratings. Okay, good. So what's your number 7?
Okay, my second to worst episode is number 6. We take a zebra to Vegas.
Okay.
What's yours?
Mine was number 4. Episode 4, which is I Plunged to My Death.
Yeah, I can totally see why.
Yeah?
That is my number 6, to be fair. Like,
okay. That's funny, because your 7 is my number 6.
Yeah, so this is the one where, like, I felt like they could really go either way. Yeah. Things that I don't really like that. I mean, I know it's nice to have Grover really exploring his satyr side and stuff like that, but it was also kind of an unnecessary ad.
And you're talking about the Las Vegas
separate like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hermes is like a weird jerk.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, his whole thing doesn't make sense. Like, he wastes their time, but then he helps them. It's just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And then the fact that the Lotus Casino isn't anything like it is in the books.
Yeah.
And so those things kind of just stacked up for it to be like I feel like we didn't really get anywhere, and like, what did we even look like? What is,
Yeah.
Just felt like nothing happened, and the changes just weren't my favorite.
Right. And I feel like I could do that both ways. Like you said, we could almost switch those, but the main reason I was like, absolutely, this is my number 7 is because I hate with a passion that Athena, yep, you knew it, that Athena is made to be this like, wow, I can't believe you sent me that Medusa head. Oh my God, I'm just going to send this monster into my safe space so that you don't have a safe space. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Who's making up these gods?
Yeah.
So I was not happy with that. And that pushed it over the edge for me into number 7.
Yeah, and see, the things that I, we're kind of getting into our next one, but the things that I like, the things that made me like it a little bit more, that I Plunged to My Death episode, is Poseidon saving him at the end. I think, like, it was just sweet. I just liked that happened. Also, the really cool, like, switch thing that happened with him and Annabeth I just remember the moment we were watching, be like, what do you mean, Annabeth? What do you mean Annabeth is gonna fight? Remember? We were like, and then
and him grabbing her.
I just think, like, they were so smart, like, to get, like, they knew what they were doing. They were, like, rage baiting us, kind of, like, right to the end, and then be like, just kidding.
Oh man, that really did get me going.
It did, yeah. But then they did.
They switched it,
and just even the fight with the Chimera was really cool.
Yeah.
Even though it made no sense that she tore the hole in the floor
when he could just blow a torch.
Yeah,
through
that
the
seemed
hole.
Weird, but like still,
somehow she got magic at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just, to me, it tipped it into 7 just because of, my problem with that whole Athena scene. But
I didn't
I like it's interesting that we have those separate. So you put episode 4 in your number 6 slot, and I put episode 6 in my number 6 slot. So we switched those two. So that's pretty good. We're following each other pretty good. So in that case, we kind of are talking about it. Yeah, but I didn't get to say anything about the Las Vegas. The reason I put the episode 6 Las Vegas episode into my number 6 slot was because you basically kind of said it all. There was so much that wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
And then that missed out on the cool things that were in the books. Like literally the only thing we did the same was we went to Lotus Casino.
Yeah.
And lost track of some time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that was the same. Yeah. Everything inside of that Lotus Casino was not the same.
It's not supposed to be that crowded. It's not supposed to really look
they weren't
like
supposed
that.
to separate. Well, they did separate, quote unquote.
What?
Yeah, it was Hermes there. They also lost track of so much time that they missed the deadline. That was part of that one. Like the deadline was over, and I was just like, okay, why? Yeah. Again, why? Sure, you could change that. I guess it doesn't make the biggest deal in the world, but why?
Yeah, we talked about the only reason is that it like proves that they're not in it for the quest, that they're in it for like the good of the world. And that's all it really proved. Yeah.
But one reason why I did put it, I would like to say I put that ahead of the St. Louis Arch episode, this is how I'm naming them, is because the beginning of that episode, when they end up in Las Vegas and all those animals are running around, and Grover is like so not concerned about the humans.
That's so true.
And that whole scene with Annabeth, when he's like, where do you think the Lotus Casino is? And she's like, maybe the Big Lotus. And he's like, hey, you were just a step ahead or whatever. That whole scene is so cute.
That is true.
That it gave it a little okayness to me. So yeah, it gave it a little bump up. Okay, so I kind of agree with that too. So that was 8, 7, and 6. So we're gonna get to our what we consider the 5th favorite episode.
Yes. So for me, it's number 1. I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher. What's yours?
Well, that's funny because now we're going off.
I had a feeling we would diverge.
So I could not separate out my 4th and my 5th together. I could not separate them. So
they tied.
They tied so strongly.
It's okay, they can both tie for 4.
For 4th place. So you're just gonna have to skip over to my 4th place for me.
Okay. So we're just gonna skip. So I'll just say why this is my 5th.
You tell me why. Okay. Yeah, because that's interesting because you're naming my 3rd favorite episode as your 5th. Now we're going off.
So here's the thing. Well, the beginning is great. And the whole, like, them in school and the Grover thing is great. Then we get to the whole expelling thing. What?
Oh, I forgot about that. That killed me so much.
Right?
Yes.
And then Sally's in the rain. What? And then Gabe isn't Gabe, which fine. Like, love the TV show Gabe. But also, you're supposed to hate Gabe. So why do we love him?
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're at Montauk. I don't really like the Montauk scene very much. Mm-hmm. They argue too much.
Yeah.
Grover comes. That's great. Grover thing is great. The driving and the Minotaur thing, great. Mm-hmm. These are highlights of it. And then we have like the longest goodbye you know
you guys are about to die any second now. Stop.
Died if you guys shut up, Sally. Like, do you know what? And I get that the plot wouldn't have happened in the books, but I'm like, oh my god, it went on for like to the point that it lost the emotion. I was like, okay, now I'm just over it. Shut up. So that was really annoying.
Yeah.
And then Grover's not passed out, which is kind of weird and like seems unnecessary. He should have been like fully passed out, and Percy should have had to drag him up the hill because that's what makes it so that he didn't really complete that quest.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I just don't really love that episode, but I don't hate it. It's number 5.
Yeah.
It's just,
I know, but it's kind of farther on the hate list than it is on the like list if you put it at number 5, because 4 is in the middle of 8. I'm just saying. But that's okay. You can do that because I have
for a good reason.
I agree with all those negative points, but I have reasons for my putting it higher. Okay, so for me, I could not separate out episode 3, where the Medusa one, and episode 5, which is the Waterworld one. I could not, for the life of me, figure out which one goes ahead of the other ones. They're both in the same. I'm very just like, this is how they feel for me. Like, the ones past this point were like, I have strong negative emotions for. The ones before this, I have strong positive emotions for. These 2, I'm just like, cool.
They existed.
Yeah, they were okay. They had a mutual good and bad. So I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to tell you on both really fast. So I loved Medusa. I love the scene in the book too. And I loved the girl who played Medusa. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot about it I really loved. And I have mixed feelings in my head. I haven't been able to sort out why I don't love it enough, because it isn't the same as in the movie. And I felt like there was no reason that it couldn't be the same. Like, I didn't understand why they had to change it, where I do sometimes understand why. So that kind of confused me. But yet I still love the Medusa. Like, I watch it and I still very much enjoy it. I don't so much enjoy the fight at the end. I think the fight in the book was a lot more interesting. The fight in that dark, cavernous basement
With the fires
and the fact
that turn on when you
just
start
the
walking
fact
down the
that they
stairs.
would run away into the basement.
Yeah.
I get that Electo might have been outside.
They might have thought it was a back door.
Yeah, but the minute you opened that door, it was very obvious it was going down. I just don't know about that. That was dumb.
Yeah.
I did love the Oracle scene. I didn't love the quest picking scene, but it's okay. It was okay. It goes with the whole theme of the whole thing that he picks Annabeth because she'll be the one to push him down the stairs. You know,
Yeah.
I get that, and so it worked out. Like now, after the fact, I can appreciate that. I did love his little scene with Grover when Grover was scooping the poop. So that was just like one of those, like, you know, everything. It was interesting. I love the scene where Annabeth is watching him take out the head and kill Electo, and the look on her face.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they come to some kind of agreement on that heated conversation. I didn't like the heated conversation, but I like the fact that they came to an agreement on it, and that he said he was impertinent. I love that they used that line. So there was enough love there. And then, but the Waterworld one, which is also my number 4.
Which is A God Buys Us Cheeseburgers.
Yeah, episode 5.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm talking about it, I'm wondering if maybe I do like this one better, the Waterworld one. I don't know. But see, I wasn't a fan with changing the fates where he saw the fates, and that's how it starts out. Right? She sees the fates. I don't get it. Like, I don't care maybe that much, but I also don't get it why we changed that. And so we did talk about it and whatever. It still seems unnecessary, and I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Very cute hug scene between them. That was a plus point.
Yeah.
I love Aries so much.
Yep.
And honestly, the Aries and Grover talk, I'm all for.
Yeah,
it was great. Me too. The whole Aries talk, all the Aries Cafe. The only negative thing about the whole thing is the fact that Percy was not the one with the chip on his shoulder. It was Annabeth the whole time. So Percy was not the one giving him sass. It was Annabeth.
Right.
Yeah, and that was weird, and I didn't get why that would be.
Yeah, that was
so that was like the negative part of it. Waterworld, once I really understood from the view of the directors and like the whole idea of the spiders, I get that they had to change the whole thing. And I thought they did a really good job, and there was some really passionate acting from Annabeth in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think after seeing it 3 times, I've decided that I kind of like the scene, but I don't really like Hephaestus. I liked him, but I didn't like, he wasn't Hephaestus. Again, it's like Aries. I mean, I'm sorry, not Aries. Hades. Aries is perfect. It was like Hades, you know, like I like that guy, but he wasn't Hephaestus. So there's those negative and positive on both ends, and it kind of leaves me this like, it was a good episode, I guess, you know? And that's why they end up being both number 4 to me.
That makes sense.
Now that said,
my number 4 was distinctly A God Buys Us Cheeseburgers. So okay. Yeah, so it wasn't too far off, but yeah. And my number 3 is We Visit the Garden Gnome Emporium.
Oh, interesting. So your episode 1, which I put as number 3, you dropped down lower. Otherwise, we've been kind of following along. You just kind of threw that episode 1 in between our choices.
Yeah, okay. I didn't episode 1 and 2 came out together. Yeah, we got to remember. And when I watched them both back to back, I got super excited about the series. But if only episode 1 came out by itself, I would have been like, do I want to watch this? I still would have been excited. Like, of course I would. And there's definitely a lot of it that sticks right to the book. But there was just, I don't know. I think that they had a reason for putting the 2 of them out together, and I think it's because episode 1 by itself wasn't going to do it. Yeah. Anyway, so 4th place for me, God Buys Us Cheeseburger. So the things that I didn't like that put it below We Visit the Garden Gnome Emporium as my number 3 favorite episode. Yeah. We don't get the spider scene and Percy saving Annabeth from the spiders and Percy using his awesome water powers and then her using her brain. Like them working together in this perfect way that perfectly shows their unique abilities and how they put them together and are such a good team. And I think that's the first time in the book that we get them. Well, Annabeth's freaking out, right? And Percy, whatever. But then he uses his water powers to shoot them out of there, and she uses her brains to make sure they don't smash it into pieces against this fence. Yeah. And whatever. And even her being grumpy about like, going into the tunnel of love with him. Just like the whole thing I really like. And so even though I just don't, and then like he has to sacrifice, it's just like this whole dramatic thing, which I do agree was well done and was a beautiful scene. But I was just like, I don't know.
I have a question though.
Like
we haven't actually none of us have actually challenged other person on this, but I just have a and I agree with you because I love this scene in the book. But I just have a question. Do you not think that the fact that it's a different way, but Percy uses his water skills to get them there. He uses his weakness. What's it called? Not the weakness.
It's your fatal flaw.
Fatal flaw. He sacrifices himself. That's totally his. So he uses that to get the shield. And then she uses her.
But she doesn't use her brains.
No, I know that actually was a horrible job of her, looking like she doesn't know what the heck she's doing in the back of that chair. Okay, true. I mean, did she use, so what she used her passion and.
She used her change of heart.
To talk Hephaestus into letting him go. Okay, fine. So it just fell short on, yeah. And we miss the fact that Annabeth has a vulnerability with the spiders.
So it's hard to even, it is, anyways. Yeah. It was hard to choose between this one. I could see them tying this one and we visit the Garden Gnome Emporium because it is really sweet and it is really emotional and it's not, if nothing was badly written or badly acted or anything. It just was, I just preferred the book scene over it more. It
was a nostalgic thing where you missed your.
Yeah, but see, I don't feel like that about the Medusa scene. So I think that's why. I think the Medusa change was great. I loved the new depth of her character, and I loved us slowly analyzing her every word and being is she being manipulative or is she being truthful here?
Yeah.
Is she, And I just liked it so much more in it, and I didn't feel like I was nostalgic for the other version. But this one, I was no. I really could have just stuck with the original version. But I do love Ares and Grover having their talk. So I didn't think Grover had to be there, but maybe he didn't have to be there, and they could have still had the whole spider thing.
Yeah.
And the whole broadcasting and 5, 4, just this the whole thing.
Yeah, well, see, but that particular type of humor is not in the TV series.
It doesn't have to be funny. Could be scary.
That's true. That's true.
Thinking they're getting broadcasted to Mount Olympus as they're failing.
Yeah, miserably, especially after the whole arch scene, right? Because this is after the St. Louis Arch, so that's true. They could have been worried about having Athena once again be embarrassed by her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So that's why you put the cheeseburgers. Yeah. That's why you put.
And again, and the whole Percy not being sassy to Ares at all. I'm what is happening?
Except for at the very end.
And then he's just one day you're going to see who I really am. It's barely even sassy.
You're almost
a light
poor, puny demigod. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's number 4. And then, my number 3 is the Garden Gnome Emporium, which I kind of already said. Yeah. I like the Medusa thing. I like the change and the new depth to her character. I like them arguing on the bus. And, and the bus. And Grover introducing that funny song.
Yeah.
And I liked, it was weird, that whole thing with Alecto when she's you're the most formidable demigod to ever live. That was kind of silly. But, I think it made a good joke we just kept on bringing it up for the rest of it.
That started our whole thing about her and being the most formidable demigod.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's probably another reason why I wasn't sure. I forgot because I did make that note down that whole talk with Alecto, I was just what?
What is happening? But then, and with the whole conflict that they have in the basement after they kill Medusa, I liked the conflict, and I liked the resolution where they kind of talk it out and come to an agreement. I think it's such a good turning point in the relationship, what we've been waiting for the last 2 episodes or so.
Right, because the next one I believe is on the arch. There's on the train. They have that. Is the next one on the train?
Yeah, the next one's the train.
Yeah, and they have those good conversations at that point, so things have changed. Yeah, that's true.
So
you put that one at
my number 3.
Okay.
So what's your number 3?
So my number 3 was your number 5, which was the first episode. And the reason why, so I had there were so many points to this, and I was doing this when I was working out each of these episodes, I was giving negative points and positive points to things. And there was a lot of negative points on this one. But there was also so many positive points that it ended up working. That I really looked at it and I was first of all, it's our first introduction to Percy and Grover, and Sally. And minus the rain scene, what the heck are we doing, Sally? Rain is not Is she cheating on Poseidon with Zeus?
Maybe like she's confused.
I think she's confused. Like that's fine. Maybe it just brings her closer. She can't get to the ocean. She gets the rain. Okay, fine. Anyways, even with all that, like the Nancy Boba Fett.
No, hold on.
She was great. Nancy was great. Mr. Bruner was great. I'm sorry. All of a sudden now I don't remember how to pronounce anything. Switching the cheese and meat on each other's sandwiches was so awesome.
Super cute.
Super cute. I was okay with the fact that they didn't have to go all the way up the steps and into the museum to fight Electo. I was okay with that. Electo herself was pretty good.
Yep.
Mrs. Dodds, Electo, whatever. You know, the principal scene talking with Grover was like a big, big negative for me.
Then Grover kind of betrays him.
Oh, yeah. And that just ruined
and Percy really
me from the beginning.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't because there was so many, because we meet Gabe, and like you said, Gabe is great, even though that was confusing. But at the same time, his greatness was so great that it overdid the confusing part. And
again, we did explain, like, we understand why they didn't make him that bad. Because
it's a Disney movie. Dark. I mean, it's a Disney TV show.
He's so bad. Like, it's really not something we need to...
And they didn't want Sally to be a victim in this one, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because she was a victim in the books.
But only for the first book. And then she pulls it together after that.
She does pull it together. You know, the nightmare, we do get introduced to the weird guy.
Cronus, who's really not weird. Him.
So that's kind of off. There were so many ups and downs on this episode.
Yeah.
But because it had so many more ups and downs and I had so many more feelings attached to it, I put it above my 4 and 5. Because my 4 and 5, I was just like, like it was a very blah feeling. This one had so much more emotions. So, yeah. And also Grover's scene when he shows up in his really shaggy legs is just amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Minotaur was great. You know, I mean, the fight wasn't so great, but he was great. He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though it was so dark and I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they do throw in the line, you drool when you sleep.
That's true.
Right. So there was just so many good positives that were like nostalgic or like, you know, fun to me that I gave it a 3.
Nice.
Well, this is interesting because that means our 1 and 2 are
the same.
The same or switched.
They're the same 2 episodes.
Yeah, this is amazing. Okay, what's your number 2?
We clearly had an impact on each other.
Yeah,
because we really have very similar feelings about this.
That's right. Okay, what's your episode number 2?
I've switched them back and forth.
Oh,
so I want to make it clear that it's hard to pick. But in the end, number 2 is the number 2 episode. I become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom. And it's hard because the prophecy comes true. Yeah, they're both really good episodes, but the reason why I put number 2 as I become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom
as your number 2
is because the reason why that's my second favorite episode instead of my first favorite episode is because while it's great being at camp and like just being at camp is just the best, right? Like seeing the camp for the first time, meeting Annabeth for the first time, meeting Luke for the first time, being sorted, capture the flag. Like there's so many funny parts. I think it's well written. I think the camp is well made. But him and Annabeth are so weird. Remember, like, I know we go back to like, okay, they didn't connect and they weren't like flirting like the second they met. And they did have their like things, but he liked her kind of from the beginning. He thought she was pretty.
In the book,
he was a little definitely on her from like the moment they met, just because he thought that she was pretty. Not because
he was a really shallow young 12-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they knew each other well, but he was like, "Oh, look at this beautiful princess with her blonde curly hair. She's so pretty."
Yeah,
and kind of tried to like impress her. And we didn't get any of their Greek lessons together, so we don't get to see like the relationship starting to build, and then the relationship going sour when he becomes the son of Poseidon.
Because they wanted to concentrate on Luke, which I understand, but we did not get the Annabeth we wanted to get.
Yeah, so I understand all the reasons, which is why I don't hate the episode. And there's so many great things in the episode. And Grover going and doing his Grover things, and even the quest picking I kind of liked, or the like picking people for the quest. And
that's on episode 3. After the Oracle. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even talk about the Oracle thing. I did like the Oracle thing. That was why we visited the Garden Emporium was my number 3. And
okay, because the Oracle was really good.
I love the Oracle. But anyways.
On the camp one, this goes up until, because remember he gets claimed after.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they tell him you have to go on this quest.
Goes up there.
So he hasn't yet gone to the Oracle. Yeah. He hasn't picked anybody yet.
My bad. But either way, just being at camp and everything about camp and
was great. We could have had more camp.
And the fight with Clarice was great, and the bathroom scene was great. Like, it was just all great. Yes, and it was just the only thing that put it below the prophecy comes true. The last episode is just that weird and like the weird interactions with Annabeth, specifically in the bathroom, and with him being like, "Can she stop following me?" to Luke and stuff. Like, just because by the time we get to capture the flag, it's not as bad. It's not as awkward. It's not funny. But like our first interaction with her, I was like, "Ooh, what is happening?" Yeah,
it did seem extra awkward. Yeah. Okay, so I also have episode 2 as my number 2. Yeah. I didn't have as hard of a time to separate it out, but because our number 1 episode, which is obviously at this point, if you're keeping track, episode 8, is so my number 1 that it wasn't like hard for me to pick that out. But I love camp. I could have taken a whole nother episode of camp because I was a little sad when we left camp. Yeah. Also, at this time, we didn't know that they were going to have flashbacks of Luke training him, and it was very confusing. Oh, yeah, I remember. How is he going on? Like, he doesn't know anything. He has no skills. How is he going to do anything? We did get a little sassy. Remember, in the beginning of this one, he has a whole conversation with Dionysus.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right.
Dionysus tries to convince
I'm your dad.
And that whole scene was hilarious. Everything, including Mr. Brunner coming in and him saying, no, he's not your dad. And he says, well, I could be.
But are you?
But are you? And he's like, you ruined everything. It's so good. At first, when I saw that, I didn't like something about it. And I can't remember what it was, but it's grown on me.
I think it's because we were like, what? When he said he was his father. Like, what's happening?
But even before that, when he comes out, it's supposed to be, they're playing Pinochle or whatever it's called. And Annabeth is there.
Also because he's still grumpy at Grover. I think that's what you
he's still grumpy at Grover. That's right. Yeah. It kind of, I was worried about that Grover friendship. So yeah, so there was a little like that about it. But then also, what was it? Hold on, let me think. Oh, he does the phone call with his mom, which I really loved in one way, but in another way, I'm like, there's so much he could have done and not had the phone call with the mom. Right. But it was cute that you get to see, like, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm happy for the first time I have friends. And he's talking about the people who are literally going to betray him.
He's talking about
so there was an interesting way they did that. Yeah. Yeah. And we got to see Chris Rodriguez, which is, I thought was kind of cool as a book reader because you don't even hear of him. You don't know. I don't know if he was even mentioned at all until later in the book. So,
Also about the phone call, though, I will always defend more Sally content getting put in the just getting put throughout the episodes, just like getting Luke content getting put through the episodes. Is that for Sally, we're not in Percy's head, and I think one of the things that people talk about the movie is his mom. He thinks his mom just died, and he just shows up at camp, and he's like, "Woo, camp!" You don't get to see that he's you genuinely think your mom is dead, and you're just having fun at camp. In the book, first of all, he has way more weeks there and stuff, but still, you are in his head. You get that he's mourning this. You get how upset he is, but it's when he's doing his montage of what am I good at and stuff. You just don't see that. So him having time set aside to show you as a viewer, I feel sad about this. This is affecting me.
That's a good point.
Negatively, and I'm not just here at camp having a blast well, whatever, my mom's dead.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And another one of my scenes that I love about this is his whole waiting for what's going to happen when he's on the capture the flag, and he's just sitting there, and it's that whole montage of peeing and then doing petting the lizard and doing the floss. Is that what it's called? Flossing, whatever. So cute. And the whole scene with Clarice was amazing. She's amazing. She did such a great job.
Yeah, for sure.
Dior.
Is that how you say that?
I think it's Dior. I think you're right. She did a great job. Her scream when her spear broke was amazing. Yeah.
She's definitely a very good actress.
So I think they did a great job on that. So that was good. And then our number 1.
Right. Which is the last episode, the prophecy comes true. And there's just really nothing bad about this episode. That's the thing, is that there's just nothing bad about it.
Yeah. I had a couple
Aries
I had a couple things that I were like, man, didn't like, but it was so little compared to. Yeah.
Based like the Aries scene.
Aries fight, great.
Amazing. Beautifully done. Just so cinematic.
Yeah. The flashbacks with Luke on his sword fighting were all really good.
It's a great time to remind you of their friendship. Even him and Zeus's interaction, I liked. Him and Poseidon's interaction, I liked a lot too.
Yeah. You know, they went back to the cabin and met Alecto there, right? Which was okay. I didn't realize until later, like, you know, Alecto comes down on the beach and they give him the helmet. Mm-hmm. They could have saved a little time and just had her do that. There was no real reason to walk into the cabin.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of forgot that scene exists. Most of the time it was so, like, random.
It's just a neutral thing, but it's kind of weird that they wasted their time on that. But yeah, no, but otherwise, so that scene was okay.
Hear the report
we do hear the report. Happening. Yes, we hear the radio talking, and she says a few things. Yeah. Anyway, so that it was more information, I guess. Yeah,
and we learned he asked, like, please have my mother returned. So he is requesting for his mom to be returned. So whatever.
Yeah, the Empire State's building was all great. The only problem is that he was not the guy at the front desk. Oh yeah, was not reading a Harry Potter book. No. Anyways, but I don't think Disney would let him do that.
He could still be reading a thick book with
a wizard on his front. And yeah, the elevator was great. They did a great job with Olympus. They did a great job with.
Well, the only thing about Olympus is it was a little dark.
It was a little dark. It wasn't as happy.
It's supposed to be like literally like
white and gold.
And gold. Yeah. And columns
But this whole season's dark. Yeah.
And like, it's on brand, but it was just like.
It was on brand for the whole season, yeah. And you do have to realize the people making this season, like, literally, it's like the same team that made the show called Black Sails, and that is a dark show. Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting, but that's okay.
It just kind of brings me to this thing that Apollo mentions in the Apollo series, which is a spoiler, but
it is a spoiler.
Is not. It's not a spoiler. Okay. But when he's kind of talking about how he doesn't love Olympus and he doesn't really love living on Olympus, or he doesn't really love Zeus being the ruler of Olympus. Let's make that a little more specific. He doesn't really like Zeus, and he talks about how, like, Zeus thinks he can hide how bad it is up here by making it all beautiful and white and gold and shiny, and like how it's the opposite of the underworld in it. So that must mean it must be like heaven. Yeah. And he's like, that's just how he like. It's like something he's hiding behind as he's being a bad ruler, basically. So I don't know. I feel like the literal symbolism of him, like, it's perfect here, but then being in whole butt face is like something that has its own meaning to it, and so it's kind of sad that they took that away.
Yeah, that's true. But the whole thing was all done so well. Yeah, the camp thing. It was a little bit weird how they how the whole like finding out that Luke was betraying him happened, and that's fine. It would have been probably hard to put so much more in there. They had to put so much in this last episode. Yeah,
but I still think it's going to have some implications for the future, but nothing that I'm against. Yeah, the whole like Annabeth being
there. Yeah, that was. We did think that was a little weird. Like, how is that going to change things? How is that going to change her in our future book, especially book 5? We'll see. But not just book 5. There's several times throughout the books. Yeah, where her thoughts about Luke make a difference. So we'll see how that works. But still, it was so well done. Everything was so well done. And once we decided that it was okay that he was cutting portals into the air. Yeah. That was in the book somehow. It's just like weird. Yeah. And then the nightmare. Yeah. Was, of course, is never a positive for me because it's that guy being Cronus, the weird person. But waking up and having that conversation with his mom was like, which is a great
way to end it. And that's not even the end, because then we get the after credits scene of Gabe turning himself into a statue. So all in all, just a great episode.
A great way to do it. And we weren't sure how they were going to do the whole Gabe thing. So that really...
We were like, thank God.
Yeah, that was a good way to do it.
And I remember, we had a tradition of watching the episodes like the day that they came out. So we didn't know there was going to be an after credits scene. Yeah. Like, we hadn't heard from people, make sure you watch till the end. And I just remember being like, we should just wait. Because it's Disney, and Disney is Marvel, and Marvel is the people that started those after credit scenes. Yeah. And they've gotten really popular. Everyone loves an after credit scene. Yeah. So I had a feeling that it was coming, and it was a great one. And I was glad that we didn't have to hear about it later. And be like, wait, what? We missed it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was great. That's really cool.
So we basically agreed on almost everything, or we were one episode off.
Yeah, the one thing that really, everything was like almost exactly in order except for episode 1.
Yeah.
Where we put episode 1 through a few things off, but otherwise we're pretty good.
Yeah.
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 I don't really think we have more to do on this episode. We probably will not have another episode before our Comic-Con. So we'll just have to hold off on that.
We will record ourselves live from Comic-Con. Well, yeah. We will record ourselves while at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And then edit and upload that episode the following Wednesday probably.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be our next episode.
Yeah, it'll just be our live, which will be cool. And then we'll see where we go from there, depending on, what more things we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. For sure. Well, awesome.
Okay, follow our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Threads at Camp Comparisons Podcast. We do updates like, hey, we're going to Comic-Con. And we post about our episodes, and sometimes we post about exciting news we find about Percy Jackson and what's going on in the universe.
Yep.
If you want to rank every single episode from your favorite to least favorite.
Oh, yeah. Send us an email.
Exactly why they're your favorite. You can email us at campcomparisons@gmail.com.
Yeah. And don't forget to tell your friends about us. And we also appreciate it if you follow us on those different socials and like our podcast. And I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But, all the good stuff that we always say at the end. Yeah. Do all those things.
Rate, review.
Review. There you go.
Invite people to Comic-Con.
Tell people who are in the Tampa Bay area to come to Comic-Con, and on Saturday, somewhere in that convention center from 12 to 1. You'll find it it's actually on the schedule. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. Until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye.
Bye.